Hey there, Bible explorers! Have you ever heard of the Book of Numbers? It's a book in the Bible, and it's chock full of adventure. This book tells the story of the Israelites and their incredible journey. After escaping slavery in Egypt, they were on their way to a special land God promised them. Buckle up because their trip was a wild ride. Imagine packing your bags for a vacation, but instead of a week at the beach, you're going to the desert. For 40 years. Yikes! That's what happened to the Israelites. God led them through the wilderness, a place with lots of sand, not much food, and even less water. Talk about a test of patience. The Book of Numbers is full of exciting stories. It's a fascinating part of the Bible that often gets overlooked, but it's packed with adventure, drama, and lessons that are still relevant today. From the moment you open its pages, you're transported to a time of wandering in the desert, divine encounters, and miraculous events. Let's dive into some of the most captivating tales from this incredible book. You'll meet 12 spies sent to scout out the Promised Land, a land flowing with milk and honey. These spies were chosen from each of the 12 tribes of Israel, and their mission was crucial. They had to assess the land, its people, and its cities. Imagine the tension and excitement as they embarked on this dangerous mission, knowing that their report would shape the future of their entire nation. But only 2 had enough faith to trust God. Joshua and Caleb stood out from the rest. While the other 10 spies were filled with fear and doubt, Joshua and Caleb believed in God's promise. They saw the same giants and fortified cities, but their faith gave them a different perspective. They knew that with God's help, they could overcome any obstacle. Their courage and trust in God set them apart and made them heroes in this epic story. Talk about a close call. The Israelites were on the brink of turning back to Egypt because of the negative report from the 10 spies. But Joshua and Caleb's faith and determination helped to steer the people back on course. Their story is a powerful reminder that faith can move mountains and that trusting in God's promises can lead to incredible outcomes, even when the odds seem insurmountable. And don't forget Balaam and his talking donkey. This is one of the most unusual and memorable stories in the Bible. Balaam was a prophet who was hired to curse the Israelites, but God had other plans. As Balaam set out on his journey, his donkey saw an angel blocking the path. Despite Balaam's frustration and attempts to move forward, the donkey refused to budge. This donkey wasn't afraid to speak his mind, especially when an angel appeared. In a miraculous turn of events, God gave the donkey the ability to speak. The donkey questioned Balaam's actions and revealed the angel's presence. This extraordinary encounter not only saved Balaam's life, but also demonstrated that God can use any means to communicate his will. It's a story that highlights the importance of paying attention to divine signs and being open to unexpected messages. Then there's the census, where God told Moses to count all the people. This was no small task. The census was essential for organizing the tribes and preparing for their journey into the Promised Land. It involved counting every man over the age of 20 who could serve in the army. The detailed records and organization were crucial for maintaining order and ensuring that each tribe was represented. Can you imagine counting that many people? The sheer number of individuals and the meticulous process of recording their names must have been overwhelming. Yet, it was a task that Moses undertook with diligence and dedication. This census not only provided a sense of structure, but also reinforced the idea that every person mattered and had a role to play in the community. It's a testament to the importance of organization and the value of each individual in God's plan. Traveling through the desert wasn't easy. The Israelites had to learn to trust God every step of the way. He provided food from heaven called manna and water from a rock. Talk about amazing miracles. These stories teach us that even when things get tough, God is always with us, ready to help. Section 5. When complaining gets you in trouble. Sometimes the Israelites forgot to trust God. They found themselves in difficult situations, and instead of looking for solutions or remembering the miracles they had witnessed, they let their frustrations get the better of them. It's easy to understand why they felt this way. Imagine being in a vast, hot desert with limited resources. The uncertainty and harsh conditions would make anyone anxious and worried. They grumbled and complained about the food, the water, and everything in between. Can you blame them? Desert life is tough. The scorching sun, the endless sand, and the lack of variety in their diet were enough to make anyone irritable. They missed the comforts of their previous life, even if it meant being in bondage. The human mind often clings to the familiar, even if it's not ideal. But complaining never helps, does it? Instead of finding solutions or seeking comfort in their faith, their constant grumbling only added to their misery. Complaining can create a negative atmosphere, making it harder to see the positives or find a way out of the situation. It can spread like wildfire, affecting everyone around and making the collective mood even worse. It only made things worse. The more they complained, the more they focused on their problems rather than the solutions. This negativity clouded their judgment and made it difficult for them to appreciate the small blessings they still had. The situation escalated, and soon, the entire community was engulfed in a wave of discontent. It's a powerful reminder of how our mindset can shape our reality. The Book of Numbers reminds us to be thankful for what we have. Gratitude can shift our focus from what's lacking to what's abundant. It helps us see the good in our lives, even in challenging times. By being thankful, we open our hearts to positivity and hope. This doesn't mean ignoring problems, but approaching them with a mindset that seeks solutions rather than dwelling on the negatives, and to trust that God knows what's best for us. Trusting in a higher power or in the process can provide comfort and guidance. It reminds us that we are not alone in our struggles and that there is a bigger plan at work. By placing our trust in God, we can find peace and strength to navigate through tough times. This trust can be a source of immense inner strength, helping us to stay resilient and hopeful. Section 6, Balaam and the Talking Donkey, a lesson in listening. Now, let's talk about Balaam and his unusual donkey ride. Balaam was a prophet, someone who was supposed to listen to God and share his messages with others. One day, Balaam was asked by a king to curse the Israelites, God's chosen people. The king promised Balaam a great reward if he would do this. Balaam knew it was wrong, but he was tempted by the promise of riches and power. So he decided to go with the king's messengers to meet him. Balaam was asked to do something wrong, and even though his donkey tried to warn him, he didn't listen. As Balaam was riding his donkey on the way to meet the king, something strange happened. The donkey saw an angel of the Lord standing in the road with a drawn sword. The donkey stopped and refused to move forward. Balaam, not seeing the angel, became angry and beat the donkey to make it go. This happened 3 times, and each time the donkey tried to avoid the angel, but Balaam continued to beat it. Sometimes we can be like Balaam, too focused on ourselves to hear what God is trying to tell us. Finally, the Lord opened the donkey's mouth, and it spoke to Balaam, asking why he was beating it. Balaam, shocked but still angry, argued with the donkey. Then the Lord opened Balaam's eyes, and he saw the angel standing in the road. The angel told Balaam that the donkey had saved his life by stopping, and that Balaam's path was reckless and displeasing to God. Balaam realized his mistake and repented. The story of Balaam reminds us to listen to God's guidance and to be careful about the choices we make. It's a powerful lesson in humility and obedience. We must be attentive to the signs and messages that God sends our way, even if they come from unexpected sources. Just like Balaam's donkey, sometimes the warnings and guidance we need come from places we least expect. By being open and willing to listen, we can avoid making mistakes and stay on the right path. So, let's remember to always keep our hearts and minds open to God's voice, and to seek His guidance in all that we do. Section 7. Lessons from Counting Noses. Counting all those people might seem boring, but it shows how much God cared for each person. He knew them all by name. Just like a shepherd cares for each sheep, God cares for each one of us. He knows our hopes, our dreams, and even our fears. Section 8. The end of the journey, sort of. After 40 years, the Israelites finally reached the Jordan River, the edge of the Promised Land. Wow, what an adventure! But their journey wasn't over yet. They still had challenges ahead, but they knew God was with them, and that's all that mattered. Section 9. Keep exploring. So there you have it. The Book of Numbers is full of exciting stories, valuable lessons, and even a talking donkey. If you want to learn more about God's love, faithfulness, and the amazing adventure of the Israelites, grab your Bible and start reading. Thanks for joining me on this Bible adventure.